our friends has started, inshallah. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we are going to deal with theme number 2 as a completion, what we have started last time, unit number 4. So, unit number 4, the title of unit number 4 is Western Influence, Good or Bad. So today, inshallah ta'ala, we are going to discover this topic throughout two main aims. So at the end of this lesson or this session, inshallah, students will be able to listen for specific information correctly. So this is the main aim of this lesson. And inshallah, we are going to focus to listening and how to answer different types of questions related to listening. The second point or the second aim of our lesson today is practice ways of asking questions fluently. So at the end of this lesson, you will be able to practice ways of asking questions fluently, inshallah. So please, all of you students, prepare your course book and workbook. So course book, page 24 and 25, and we will deal later on page 23 and 22 and 23 on your workbook. Starting with the topic, as you can see, so the main topic of this unit is Western influence. And I think you can guess the meaning of Western. So anything not related to, for example, the Arab country or the Arab countries, it comes from Western countries like Europe, America, or Australia, or any other countries. And then we have the second vocabulary item, influence or impact. So the influence of Western culture or Western way of life, so it comes to our healthy lifestyle, so it affects our lifestyle and also the food that we eat as influenced by Western countries. And you can see, for example, here this board is in Japan, but it is also it is influenced by Western food like McDonald's. The influence also, it comes to the culture, okay, the way of life, how people live, okay, and then the clothes, how they wear, and also it comes to the art itself. So this is what we mean about Western influence. So this is the main idea about the Western influence. So we'll go to the first activity. Okay, the first activity, as you can see here, your course book, page 24, activity number 1. Okay, so we have the topic, as we said before, Western influence, good or bad. So here we have a list of pictures, and you can see that we have about 16 or 12 pictures. Okay, so we have 12 pictures starting from A up to L. Okay, so what we are going to do in this activity, so we need to look at this picture which are associated with traditional Omani culture. So which one is related to Omani culture and which of them is related to the modern Western culture. So we need to divide them into two lists. The first list is related to the traditional Omani culture, and the second one is related to the modern Western culture. Okay, and you can see from the pictures, let's name them. For example, here, list A, which is related to the traditional Omani culture, and then, or we'll say it with the O is better, related to Oman. Okay, so this is traditional Omani, we'll say O, and the second one will present it as W. So here we have two lists. One is related to Oman and the second one is related to Western culture. If we look at to the first page, or the first picture, sorry, this is not related to our culture, as you can see. So this is what Western culture. Okay, what about the second one? Of course, the second one is related to our culture. Okay, and then also C is related to our culture, and the food, as you can see here on D, is related to our culture. What about E? Is it a part of our culture? Of course, no. So this is what? This is Western food. Okay, and also here we have it as Western, and we have Omani songs here. The same thing about the car. It's related to it comes as Omani or Western, but it is originally it is Western culture. It comes to our life as a modern style life. Sandal is related to our culture. Shoes is related to Western culture, and then we have modern malls, and we have traditional souk. So the modern malls are related to the Western culture, and here we have Omani culture, as you know. So if you want the answers here, so we have two lists. We have the Western culture, as we mentioned. Okay, as you can see here, we have the Western culture and we have the Omani culture. So Western culture is related, as you can see, the F, which is makeup, Western makeup. Teenager engine, which is A also, is related to the Western culture. Pizzas, burger, can of soft drink is also related to the Western culture. Fast sport car, okay, as you can see, this is not related to our culture. And then we have trainers, J, okay, is related to what? To the Western culture, or we can say that sport shoes. And then we have shopping malls, okay. Originally we have traditional souk. So this is about the Western culture. And the second list, which is related to our culture, as you can see, is henna painting and young Omani in Dishdasha, as you can see here in C. And Omani food, of course, is D. And then Omani dance, as you can see in G. And then traditional sandals, okay, which is an I. And the last one is traditional souk, as we mentioned before. So this is the answer of the first part of our session today. Let's move on to the second activity. Okay, the second activity here, as you can see, this activity, we have what? On the same page, of course, page 24. Quickly read through the phrases in the books below. Draw 2 columns in your exercise book. Write eating, okay, at the top of the first column, and shopping at the top of the second column. So here we have 2 lists. We need to go to our exercise book and do 2 lists. Why? I am going to divide these these phrases into these 2 columns. So the first column is related to eating or food, okay, and the second one is related to what? To shopping. Okay, so I'm going to divide these, okay, phrases into categories. Okay, so this is at the first part. Quickly read through the phrases in the books below. Draw 2 columns, okay, in your exercise book. Write eating at the top, and then the second one, shopping, at the top of the second column. So this is as the first part. Okay, this is as first part. And then after dividing these phrases into these 2 categories, okay, you are going to listen to editor of an Omani magazine talking about teenagers. So you are going to listen to what? To an editor, an Omani magazine talking about teenagers. Which phrases do you hear? Do they go with eating or shopping or both? Sometimes you get it both. Okay, you get it what? Both. Write the numbers of the phrases into the appropriate column. Note 2 phrases apply to both eating and shopping. So let's start. Just before doing the listening, we can divide them. Okay, so if we go for the first one, we have fast food. So it is related to what? Food. Okay, so this is 1. Fashionable shoes. Okay, so related to Of course, it's related to shopping. Hats and sunglasses. Hats and sunglasses. Of course, it is related to shopping. Western fashions. So here we have about fashions. Of course, it is what? Number 4. Stylish jeans. Okay. Of course, it is not eating. It is related to shopping. Pizzas and burgers. So this is related to eating. Shopping malls. Okay. It can be eating and shopping, I think. So in shopping malls, you can do shopping and also you can eat in the malls nowadays. So I think 7 is can be both. Quick and convenient. Okay. So it is also related to eating, for example, fast food. Delicious and tasty. So this vocabulary item, okay, can be on eating, of course. Cool places to hang out. So cool places is related to, of course, number. This number is number 10, is related to shopping. Fun activities and is related to also shopping, and then changing tests. I think it is related to 12. We may have different answer when we go to the listening. You may have different answers, and we are going to check the answers later on. But now, please go to the listening. You are going to listen, okay, the first part, and then we will check the answers.
Listening, 2.4.1.
Good afternoon. The subject of my talk today is changing tastes among young people in Oman. We're going to look at changing tastes in 2 areas, eating and shopping. First, let's take eating. Many Omani teenagers are attracted to fast food outlets. One reason for this is the food itself. Pizzas and burgers are not only delicious and tasty, but also quick and convenient. Another reason is that fast food outlets are cool places to hang out with friends. Next, shopping. Why do we see so many Omani teenagers in the shopping malls these days? Well, the main reason is that they want to copy the Western fashions they see on TV and the internet. They're looking for stylish jeans, as well as fashionable shoes and hats and sunglasses. Both eating and shopping are fun activities which teenagers can enjoy doing with their friends.
Okay, so this is the end of this listening record, and I think we have answered all of these questions. Let's move on to the answer and check our answers here. So here, what do we have? Related to eating, as we mentioned before. Okay, so here we have fast food outlets, pizzas, and then we have, okay, burgers, delicious and tasty. We have quick and convenient. We have cool places to hang out. Okay, so this is the first part. And the second part is related to shopping, as we mentioned. Okay, so shopping malls, we have what? Western fashions. We have stylish jeans, fashionable shoes, and hats and sunglasses, as he mentioned at the end. So some of them are both, as I mentioned before. So which one is both? I think we have done one, and here we have another one, changing tests, okay, fun activities. So both can be on shopping and eating, okay? So can be what? In two columns here, related to eating or shopping. So let's move on to some techniques in listening, which is which are not mentioned in your book. Why we need to listen? Okay, this is a good question. Why we need to listen, or it is what? To improve our listening skills, of course. So, but how I can answer all the questions correctly? Okay, so I need to follow some tips or techniques in order to have or to get high marks in the final exam. As you can see, I'm going just to explain some techniques in listening, because most of our lesson today is related to listening. So it is very important to mention some techniques here. As you can see that the listening in the final exam, okay, the final exam listening is divided into two parts, okay. So the first part, as you can see, 7 marks, and the second part is related 8 marks, okay. So we have listening 1 and listening 2. In listening number 1, you are going to hear, or you are going to listen to a conversation, okay, a conversation between, and then it is different from time to time, of course. So here we have it. This is, as an example, a teacher and a student, okay. So what is the most important point here? The first question is a conversation, and you are going to choose or circle or shade the bubble, okay, next to the correct option. And you have 7 questions from 1 up to 7, okay. So all of them are choices. How, okay, you can answer all these questions, which is related to the multiple choices, correctly. So I'm going to cover that. I will give you some tips and skills that you need to develop in order to get the target of the correct answer, okay, just to know how it will go in the final exam. As I mentioned, that the first part of the listening is what? A conversation. And the second part is divided into 2 parts, as you can see. The first part is completion. So you are going to have WH questions, okay. You are going to hear a story. So this is a very important point. You are going to listen for someone who is speaking or telling a story. So the example say this is Victoria Grover, who went on a desert adventure, okay. So you are going to answer WH questions here. How many WH questions? Of course, there are 4. So 4 WH questions, and the second part is related to what? Another multiple choices. So another 4 multiple choices. So here you have 7, and then you are going to have 4, and then ending with 4 questions. Total, you are going to have 15 out of 15, inshallah ta'ala. So this is in general about the final exam, but you need some techniques to answer the choices listening and the WH question listening. So before you listen, you need to what? To predict if the sentence, okay, if the sentence answer. Okay, you need to predict the sentence answer, okay. So before listening, before the teacher comes to your to the class or to hear it online, you need to read the listening at the beginning. When you read it, try to understand and predict the answer of each statement or of each sentence. So predicting the answer, guessing the answer is step number 1, okay. And step number 2, multiple choice can be tricky, okay, as there are often 2 possible answers that are quite similar. Sometimes he gives you, okay, he gives you what? 3 choices or 4 choices. So he mentioned choice A and choice, for, let's say, C. So now it is what? It is a little bit confusing. So what is the right answer? Okay, you need to be careful and listen to the correct option. Sometimes he corrects himself while he is telling the story. He said, okay, I went to Canada. Oh, sorry, I went to Australia, not Canada. So he mentioned Canada and Australia. So what is the right answer? Of course, Australia. Okay, so you need to be careful in that. The third point or the third technique in listening, read all the options carefully before you listen. Okay, I know that you need time, and that's why I said at the beginning of holding the exam paper, go to the listening and hold your pencil, go through the listening, try to get what is this questions about. So he's asking me about what? Okay, is he asking me about person, a place, a date, a day, okay, a reason, or what. And then I need to underline the key words. In each sentence, you have keywords. So just underline the keywords. What are the keywords? Almost they are the verbs or names, okay, or dates. So these are all, we call it what? Keywords, the most important vocabulary item in the sentence. So this is technique number 3. And technique number 4, if the options have numbers or dates, say them to yourself to think about the way they sound before you listen. So if you have, for example, numbers like 20, okay, or let's say they say 12 or 13 or 14, most of the students get confused about these numbers. 13, okay, and then 30. What is the difference between this is 30 and this is 13? So you need to pronounce the choices that are given to you, okay, and read it how it pronounced in order to get the right or the right option, of course. And also the dates, okay, the dates are very important. You need to know how to read the dates in order to get it easily, okay. So this is technique number 4, and these techniques are mentioned by the British Council. This is not from me, but this is something well known in the website. Here you have example. Let's go to the examples. Okay, why I'm giving you examples? Because it is very important. We need to improve our listening, okay. So here we have Musa has only, this is a question number 1 in listening, minutes to discuss the topic with his teacher. So let's apply what we have read before. So here, what are the keywords? Okay, the keywords here we have Musa's has, he has what? And then we have minutes to discuss with his teacher. So these are the main. While I'm before the listening, I need to do that. I need to underline. I need to do circles. Okay, do circles. Okay, to the most important keywords in the sentence. Okay, so he need what? He need number here. Okay, what is the number? He's 10, 20, 30. Okay, 10, 20, 30. Okay, so this is 30. So he needs what? 10, 20, 30. So when he says, of course, he will not say 13 because we don't have this option. Okay, so we have 20, we have 30, and then we have 10. So I need to be careful. When I can, okay, when I have the ability to read this number, it means that I can listen to it easily. So this is just to apply what we have mentioned before. Let's go, for example, to number 3 here. According to the survey, okay, so here we have a survey. This is very important point. Then we have grade 9, 10 students play for more than 17 hours a day. So we have 10 students, okay, 10 students play for more than 17 hours a day. They play what? Maybe games, but they are in grade 9. So this is a survey, a research has been done, and the number which is going to be mentioned, okay, I need to read it. I need to know how to read these numbers. So here we have 23%, 47%, and then we have 74%. As you can see that these numbers are what? Okay, reversed. We have 47 and here we have 74. It is a little bit tricky and confusing. So you need to be careful. And he may also mention 23, but not on grade 9. He will mention it maybe on grade 8. So if he say according to a survey, 23% of grade 8 and 10 students play for more than 17 hours. So I need to be careful about this. I don't want to go in deep, just to give you some tips let's complete about the listening techniques. Is use your common sense to eliminate any option that are not possible. Some of these options are not possible. So it is impossible to have these options. You can eliminate it before what? The listening. Okay, I think this is number 5. And then listen for key information. You remember the keywords that you have underlined it? So listen and wait the speaker, okay, pronounce it to confirm your answer. Key information is usually stressed. What do you mean by stressed? What he mentioned it strongly, so you can get it easily. You can have it easily. So this is 6, 7. Sometimes the speakers talk about all options, as I mentioned before. Listen to the all audio before choosing the correct option. Don't choose the first option you hear. As I mentioned before, he may mention all these numbers, 23%, 47%, and 74%. But 23 for what? Is it for grade 9 and 10? I need to be careful. So this is tip number 7. Tip number 8, don't worry about spelling. Write the answer as you can hear it, as fast as you can. Don't worry about spelling, okay, while you listen. You can correct spelling later, okay? You can correct it later. You will get, and you will have enough time, inshallah. Before the last one, you just write down keywords while you listen, not all words. While you are writing, write key or just the most important point. Don't write sentences, okay? Because you don't have enough time. And the last one is just write notes while you listen, not complete perfect sentence, as I mentioned. One important point here in the final exam, as I mentioned here, okay, when you go and have this type of question, for example, why, okay, you need to get an idea, okay, this is not more than 4 words. So you cannot write more than 4 vocabulary item here. Otherwise, it will be what? Wrong if you get it 5. Okay, or more than 5. So before the listening, go to the questions. He is asking me what? 8. Why did Victoria go to the desert? So here, why? I need reason. Because. Because of what? And then she went to the desert. Why she went to the desert? So this is before the listening. How old was she? So I need to write number. Is she, for example, 75, let's say, or 60, or so on. So I need to write number here. Where? I need to write what? Place. Okay? I need to write what? A place here. Okay. And then the last one, who? So person. Okay? Who know or who knew where she had gone walking? So by reading before the listening, I can get an idea about the listening itself. And also here, I have mentioned the techniques of multiple choices here before. So since we have listening, okay, since we have lots of listening in this session, okay, let's go to your workbook. Try to apply what I have said, okay? Try to apply it because it will be helpful for you. This is workbook, page 22, activity number 1. Okay. So what we are going to do, you are going to hear interview with 2 people talking about the influence of Western media on teenager in Oman. Okay, the influence of Western media on teenagers in Oman. Before you listen, make a list of 4 topics. So before listening, what you are going to do, just fill in these gaps. The listening is on the next activity. But here, we need to do what? Make a list of 4 topics that might be mentioned in the talk or in the listening, and then compare it with your partner. Okay, so the first one has been done for you. So since we have the topic is the influence of the Western media on teenager, so maybe he is going to speak about fashion. Also, he's going to speak about food. What else? What do you think? Fashion, and then maybe life, style, maybe. What else? Fashion, food, maybe culture. Okay, so these are what? Just a guess from you. Okay, maybe he's going to speak about other topics, but these are just what? A pre-listening activity. Okay, let's go to the listening. So you are going to hear two speakers. The first one is Muhammad, and the second one is Mr. Ahmad. As we mentioned before, you need to what? What you are going to do before doing the listening? You need to go to the what? So we have here what? We have the first interview. So this is an interview. We have an interviewer. He is asking a question to Muhammad and asking Mr. Ahmad also these questions. So how many questions do we have? We have 5 main questions. So the same questions are asked to Muhammad and Mr. Ahmad. Okay? So I need to have an idea about these questions. Let's read the instructions first. Okay? Mr. Ahmad first. Okay. First, listen to Muhammad's interview and complete the information. Then listen to Mr. Ahmad's interview and do the same. So, as we mentioned, let's go to the questions. Are teenagers in Oman forgetting their culture? So I need to guess the answer before doing the listening. The answer will be yes, no, or maybe. The second one, reasons for change in teenagers' behavior. Why they are changing? What are the main reasons? Okay, maybe it is because of the globalization. Maybe it is because of social media. Okay, so he will mention some of these ideas maybe. And the third one, main areas where changes have taken place. So where the change has taken place. Is it in the lifestyle, like clothes, way of thinking, healthy food, and so on? And then we have reasons for concerning or worrying. Is it worrying? Do we need to be worried? Okay, about this influenced or this Western culture's influence. And the last one is, are the changes generally good or bad? So he will say good or bad or in between. Okay, we need to go and listen now, please. Listen to Muhammad first.
Listening 2.4.2. Do you think Omani teenagers are in danger of forgetting their culture, Mohammed?
No, I think they have still got a sense of their own traditions. But it's true, their behavior has changed in some ways.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they are strongly influenced by Western culture on the internet and TV. They think it's very cool and exciting.
Can you give me some examples of areas where changes have taken place?
Well, take fashion for example. Young Omanis have changed the way they dress. They wear jeans and t-shirt now. And then there's food. Many Omani teenagers don't want to eat traditional Omani food. They prefer pizzas and burgers.
Anything else?
Yes, there have been some changes in behavior.
What kind of changes?
Well, unfortunately, some teenagers have picked up bad habits like smoking or even drugs. That's very worrying.
Do you think the changes are generally good or bad?
Generally good, but young Omanis shouldn't copy everything they see on TV or the internet. They should also understand the value of keeping their own culture.
Okay, so this is task number 1. I think in the final exam you are going to have listening is played 2 times. Okay, but you need to improve your listening in order to have it once only. If you go to the natural conversation between you or other students, he will not repeat what he said or what she said. So you will listen it once, and the same idea. I know that we will have questions, you need to answer it, okay? But naturally, you need to improve your listening in order to get the answers at the first time. If you get it all at the first time, you are an excellent student, okay? An outstanding student. And also, why we need to improve our listening, also another reason for that is when you go, for example, in the IELTS exams, you will get it only once. You will not get 2 times. So let's apply it today because of the time. So this is about Muhammad. Muhammad has answered all these 5 questions, and let's go to Ahmed's. Okay, let's go to Ahmed, what he will say about this or in this
Listening,
interview.
2.4.3. Have things changed since you were a teenager, Mr. Ahmed?
Definitely. When I was young, we never forgot who we were. But I think young Omanis today do sometimes forget about their own culture.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, because of the Western media and the internet, of course.
What are the main areas where we see these changes?
Fashion and dress. You see teenagers wearing the most ridiculous clothes. And food. All this fast food. It's not proper food at all.
Any other areas?
Yes. Language. Teenagers don't seem to use language properly anymore. They cut things short. I suppose it's all this, what do you call it, texting, they do on those mobile phone things.
Is there anything that worries you about today's teenagers?
Lots of things. Firstly, they smoke too much. They don't realize that it can cause cancer. And they drive too fast. Teenagers often cause accidents.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they can't judge situations on the road properly. Teenagers are dangerous drivers.
Do you think the changes in teenage behavior are generally good or bad?
Oh, definitely bad. Things were much better when I was a teenager.
Okay, I think Mr. Ahmed has finished answering the questions. We will discuss the questions here, or the answers of both Muhammad and Ahmed. And before discussing the answers, so here we have different opinion, okay, different opinion, and these opinions can be taken in our writing also. So listening is not improving our listening skills, but also improving our language, our speaking, okay, and our writing by getting new ideas, new vocabulary item. So if you have on the final exam maybe argumentative essays, or you need to write your opinion about an issue, so you can get these ideas, okay? You can get these topics. And also another point, as a student in grade 11, so you have presentations. So presentations is, I think, 10 marks. So you can get what? You can get these topics. You can speak about this topic. What are the Western influence to the Omanis, for example, teenagers, okay? So you can get, and you get what? A good information related to this listening. So for example, Muhammad here, so the first answer, or the first question is, are teenagers in Oman forgetting their culture? Muhammad believed that no. He said no. And the reasons for changing in teenagers' behavior, he said they are strongly influenced by Western culture on the internet. So the most important thing is internet and TV. They think it is what? Very cool and exciting. So that's why teenagers follow their culture, for example, or whatever. And the third question, main areas where changes have taken place. So he mentioned 2 places, fashion and food. Okay. The fourth answer, reasons for concerning or worrying. Is he worrying about the changes? He said, yeah, little bit, because what? they change their behavior, bad habits like smoking or even drugs. Okay, so he mentioned very important points here. And the last one, are the changes generally good or bad? He believed that the most or mostly it is what? Good. If we moved on to Mr. Ahmed's answer, he said what? Teenagers forgetting their culture? Maybe, sometimes. Okay, and then why or what are the reasons of changing teenagers' behavior? The Western media. So they believe about the social medias, internet, and so on. And then the third one is related to the fashion. They have both mentioned these choices, food and fashions. Okay, the fourth one is related to the language, because many teenagers forgetting their what language. They smoke too much, they drive too fast, which is not related to our culture. And then the last one, are the changes generally good or bad? He said definitely bad. This is what Mr. Ahmed's believe according to the listening that we have covered. Okay, students, let's go to activity or the next activity, which is sound bites. This is on page 25, your course book. Okay, here we have asking questions. If you want to ask someone questions, okay, so here you have some good questions. You need to what? To listen how it is pronounced at the beginning. It is not only pronunciation, and also it is the stress of the vocabulary item. When you ask someone, okay, and the stress at the beginning, for example, the second one, let's number them. 6, 7, and then 8. For example, if we go to the second one, which is why do you think? So the stress is at the beginning. Why? So the one who is asking is waiting for what? For reason. Okay, for reasons. Do you think? And then you complete the answer. Can you give some examples? And so on. So this is just the listening, the last listening. Okay, what can? Okay, and here we have, let's do the listening. Okay, the last listening here, in order to know how it is pronounced. This is just only 46 seconds.
Listening 2.4.4. Sound bites. Asking questions. Do you think? Why do you think? Can you give me some examples? What kind of changes? What are the main areas? Is there anything that? How do you mean? Can you tell me?
Okay, so this is what? This is how it is pronounced and how it is stressed. When you ask someone, you need to know where the stress is in order to have the correct answer for the question. And also in the listening in the final exam, if you can figure out the stress, you are an excellent student to get the answer. Okay, so usually the stress gives you 90% of the answer. Okay, so just you need to improve the where is the stress. So if we go to the workbook, because we don't have enough time, I need just to mention the activity number 3 and 4, page 23 on the workbook. Here you need just do it by yourself, give your opinion, and the same here about what? Respond to the statement. Okay, so here as a survey, do you agree or not agree about teenagers in Oman are influenced too much by the Western media? So this is your choices now. What is your opinion? What do you think about these statements? Okay, so do it by yourself in order to get what? An idea about these 6 or 7 questions. And the last one, you can do it also by yourself. This is very easy. Okay, related to the fast food Okay, fact file. This is related to fast food, and here we have see about music. All of these topics can be done as a writing, can be done as a presentation, and also it may come as a reading part in the final exam. Okay, you can get new vocabulary item, okay, and you can increase the amount of vocabulary item that you have it by dealing with these exercise and activities. Okay, student, we come at the end of this session. I hope you have interested, and thank you very much. See you inshallah ta'ala next week on Tuesday. Have a nice lessons with other teachers. Assalamu alaikum. Yo.